Okay, so we should be streaming now. I think it should work for sure. So yeah, now I think we should be good and live. Hopefully, let's see. Let's just check it out and make sure we are live. We can hear ourselves. I think we should be able to hear ourselves, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, maybe I gotta fix the mic a bit. Let's see if that works right now. So, testing. Okay, let's bring it up a little bit. Maybe the mic is a little bit too low. Uh, testing 1, 2, 3. Let's get right into this. So, pretty much we're just going to be talking about only murders in the building right now. I usually do these lives, and we do like also like Q&A and things like that, or just talk about anything as well. I'm open to talk about other stuff as well if you want. Anything we talk about in the channel, horror stuff, all of that. So definitely do that if you want as well. We're gonna be streaming till 11:30, so like about an hour or so. So we'll talk horror. We can talk the shows that we cover on the channel or any other stuff as well. Um, so yeah, this episode only murders in the building. I already made an ending explained talking about it, and I thought it was definitely one of the best episodes we've gotten in a while. So we're gonna definitely talk about that. We'll talk about the podcast that's dropping tomorrow as well, and just a ton of other stuff. Anything y'all want to talk about, drop it below. It's been a while since I did a stream, and the reason for that is I had some problems with my internet, and all is sorted now. The internet's working great. Like the internet wasn't reaching very well where my computer's set up and all of that, so that was a problem there. So now it's all good thanks to an extender and all of that. So we're good to go. But yeah, this is definitely one of these shows that definitely has me the most intrigued, that I keep watching, and I'm excited about it each and every week as we go. And now that we're getting close to that finale of seeing who in fact is the killer, we're going to be doing more of these lives, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's try and tweet this out so we can get some more people in here as well. Okay, let's see. So we're tweeting this out. Murders in the building. Making sure everybody knows to come on down. And yeah, we're just here. We're going to talk about it for about an hour. Whether people are not joined, this will just be uploaded as a video, so it's still something to watch for sure if you catch it later on. But we're going to be discussing everything about this episode. We can discuss other things as well, other horror movies, TV shows, any movie honestly that you may be watching as well. And we're going to stream for about an hour or so, so we're just sharing it on all the places we can share it, making sure everybody knows that we're live. And yeah, for sure. Okay, so pretty much this episode, as I was talking about in my ending explained, one of the biggest episodes, one of the ones that have me the most excited to see where we go, because that ending was just like, what is going on now? Because it started to click right when we saw the detective and everything being there at the end, and we're just like, yeah, this is starting to make a little bit more sense as to why this man is sort of being so much pressure, bringing so much like sort of like his eyes all over the group, trying to really implicate them in this crime, because he's the one who did it, right? Like that's exactly what you're thinking when you're watching this now, when you really go back and think about it. Now, of course, I'm not saying that he is for sure like the one who did it, right? But he definitely knows something else is going on here. So, one of my opinions on this whole thing about Detective Kreps and what exactly is going on with him is he, in fact, could be the killer, but might not be the mastermind behind it all. So, somebody like Kreps, I could definitely see them being sort of this muscle person that's there to do the real mastermind's bidding, and that could have been killing Bunny. Now, I don't know exactly why he would do this. Was it the money? Was it something else he was promised? Is there blackmail on him? Like, that's where the whole theory of mine is still, wondering what's going on. But the fact that this man had the glitter means he knows more than he's letting on for sure. And whether or not that means he is the killer is going to be something interesting to look out for in the coming episodes. I do believe he knows more, and I think that's the reason also he is trying to really pin this on Mabel, and he's very persistent on trying to catch them in an aha moment. I was kind of shocked when I saw Lucy as well with him because I didn't expect Lucy to automatically go to Detective Kreps. It just makes me feel like there's something else going on with Lucy or something she might know. But I'm here to talk about Detective Kreps for sure. So that's my whole theory, is that he is definitely like doing something behind the scenes that he hasn't been too honest about. He could be helping the true mastermind, and the true mastermind of this could actually be Nina's husband. I think Nina's husband's somebody we completely forgot about and we just left it as whatever, even though they were pretty much on their tail because of everything they were talking about with the building and Bunny and all of that in that one episode when they first discovered the hidden tunnels. I think Nina's husband's going to play a big part in the next episode, and especially when Nina has this sort of second thought about what exactly am I doing to this building by trying to gut it and change it and all of this. I think that Nina's coming to her senses about how exactly this is going to impact people who have been here for so long, and maybe this might not be exactly what her husband wants. He seems like the one that just wants whatever he wants, and that's that. So I think that we're going to see something happen where Nina's husband's going to get kind of pissed about this as well. So I'm going to share this out. I forgot to put it as a post here on YouTube, so I'm just going to post it right now. But like I said, Detective Kreps, I don't trust him. I really don't after this episode. I don't necessarily think he is the sole person behind the whole murder and all of that. I think he is more of the muscle who maybe have done it, or somebody else who's working for the killer. Maybe he didn't kill the Bunny, but it could be somebody else he's working with, right? So let's share this out on YouTube channel post. Okay, so that's my thoughts and my opinions on that right there for sure. Now, I think something interesting that the show likes to do is sort of throw you off. And one of the things we heard Lucy talk about was that the killer sneezed. Now, we did have somebody sneeze on this episode, and that was actually Jonathan, but they were with Howard the whole time, so that really wouldn't make sense to have Jonathan become the killer of sorts. So, in the last season, we had only one killer. Here, I think we're going to have multiple killers. I could really see a aspect, like I said, where Nina's husband is sort of the mastermind of it all. He didn't necessarily have to be the one that killed Bunny, right? We could actually see a thing where the killer of Bunny could be somebody else he hired or had come along, and then he's trying to just sort of erase everything that's going on here. And maybe getting rid of Mabel, Oliver, and also Charles might be another one of his plans, because the whole thing with Only Murders in the Building podcast may be something that he doesn't want for the building being associated with. So this is definitely why he's enlisting Detective Kreps in order to get them maybe prosecuted. So maybe Detective Kreps isn't a killer at all, but he's still working with the mastermind behind it. Maybe unbeknownst to him, or he does know. That's still a question to be answered, but I think that we're starting to really narrow things down. I think today's episode really showed that Nina as well is somebody who's trying to distance themselves from everything they're doing. I think that whole thing with the doorman and everything she had, that moment, really showed her that these are real people you're playing with, and this isn't something you really should be doing, right? So I'm excited to see where this goes in the next episode, and I think our list has sort of dwindled down. Marv, on the other hand, I was kind of suspicious to as well when we were first looking at him, and I was wondering, is this man alright, or is there something else going on, right? Like, what is his exact motive and intention, especially when they unmasked him, when they were being chased in the tunnels. I was just like, hold on, hold on. Is that really who this person is? Is that the killer? So it was kind of funny that he really wasn't the killer and he was there doing other stuff, but I feel like he could be responsible for some other things as well. I also hear people talking about Amy Schumer being the possible killer as well. That would be insane. This is a character, though, we haven't seen since the show started, and ever since we haven't seen her, we've been seeing this killer as well. And what would be the exact reason she does this? I don't know. We also have Cara Delevingne, who is somebody who Mabel has sort of like broken off with, and you could kind of believe she maybe has something to do with it, as it seems she's kind of obsessed with them, maybe especially Mabel, and is also somebody who seeks like fame and all of that. So you could definitely see that for sure being a thing right there. So let me fix this right here right now because this is sort of bothering me. I keep looking at this. I'm just gonna make this bigger. We do have a podcast dropping tomorrow for sure as well, so make sure you're tuned in for that. But our podcast is just a horror podcast. It's on the community tab if you want to check it out. But yeah, like I said, this is definitely the episode where I think that we start to like really know who the killer is. Howard and Nina were my top picks at the beginning of the season for sure. And by the time this episode came around, especially this episode just hit the nail in the coffin that they have nothing to do with Bunny's death. Um, and I'm happy for Howard too. That's another thing we have to talk about. We are definitely feeling for Howard, feeling that he wasn't going to really hit this date or whatever because of the cats and all of that. And I was just like, Howard, come on. And then luckily Jonathan was just like, you know what? I don't mind it at all. So I thought that was great to see in this episode for sure for him. I think the whole thing as well with Oliver and not knowing about the paternity test is just funny now that it's just like every time he's about to find out or he's close to it, something comes about. So I think that reveal is going to be very big. And Theo is somebody that we still have to deal with. He told Oliver he was going to take him down, that he had something planned. To this moment, we don't know exactly what that is going to be. So I think we're definitely going to wait for that to see. And we definitely do have some other of these to definitely